Hey guys, how you doing? How's it? Aloha, this is Geebz here, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge, and it is fixed back up. Finally handled everything I needed to when my air conditioning had a little leak. It wasn't the fault of the air conditioner. The air conditioner was doing its job. Just the little drainage hole got plugged up, and therefore the condensation made it all go pfft. Anyhow, done. And here we are. A lot of people left comments about my ventriloquist puppets that I used for the kids in the hospitals. No, none of them were touched, none of them were damaged. I got my buddies hanging out over there. I'm still moving things around. We might see them in the background in the future sometime. Anyhow, I'm back. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and hit it hard with the people's elbow. And I have from Patreon, thank you Patreon members, band very first time here on the channel called AMON AMARTH. AMON AMARTH. If I said it a little wrong, forgive me, remember. New guy. And the name of the song is The Way of the Viking, so I look very much forward to this. I'm excited to do this. I am going to go back and do stuff on the beach like I did that one. But, you know, there were some other things I had to take care of. So I'm excited to get back and doing this. Thank you, like usual, for your support. Cups of coffee are great. Helps what I do with the kids. The links for that. Some people go, well, what do you do for the kids? The links will be down below. They'll show you that. Also, if you want to check out the headsets I'm using, the AKG 240s, links below, and also Patreon. All right, let's do this. This is AMON AMARTH. First time on the channel with the song, The Way of the Vikings. All right. Okay, I know, sacrilegious stop right before the solo. You know, it took a long time to get to the hook, but it's so well done, and it's so, the arrangements are, and the chugging and the drumming and everything is so powerful that I actually thought I experienced the hook right before what we just heard, but it was, you know, like a longer bridge. Let's just start from the very beginning. What I love about this is the sound of it sounds like one of those, once again, very powerful musical theater metal type of songs, probably bands, where everything is super large and everything has a powerful story behind it, musically as well as lyrically. So the opening with the drums doing what he's doing and getting that all set up, you know, and you feel the power's already coming through. The chugging hasn't started yet. There's a melody that's going on in the background with some kind of a synthy French horn kind of vibe, a synthy brass vibe. And that melody or that arrangement has melodic content in the sense that once the chugs start to come in and they really start to get down to the, you know, just a fist to the throat kind of, you know, you still hear that melody in the background while the performer, the lead singer, who's doing, I guess, what I would consider slam, heavy metal slam poetry type performance, a dark, heavy tone to his voice. It's so important to me that there's that melody that's just lightly behind all the chugging. And also, the position of where his voice is and the tone of his voice is such a compliment to this composition. I know a lot of people, they think about the screaming or that kind of performance. You know, people have an opinion about that. But if it's positioned really well in the mix, because I've heard a few that are like, it's a little too out in front, or it's taken away from the, is paramount to me. The other thing is also that melody line is constant all the way through everything we heard too, which I think is very, very important, because we have the chugging, we have his performance, we have the angst of the performance. I'm catching some of the lyrics, so it sounds very kind of gnarly. I love there was a line in there, I said they're best friends, they're not enemies, but yet they have to kind of go through this because we are Vikings kind of vibe. Remember, I don't have the lyrics in front of me, that's just kind of what I heard. But even when it went right into this hook that we just heard in the last, right before I stopped it, that was just going way back up there. And I love the chord changes, because in my mind, the imaging was, the beginning was like, you know, the separating of mists of a dark mountain, you know, out in Europe kind of a thing. And then all of a sudden get into the whole chug and trudge of it. You know, these chord changes too play a part in this theatrical kind of composition, something that you may hear in movies that are of that nature, you know. So anyhow, let's keep going. I'm not going to cheat us out of that one. Let me go back and get us into this solo correctly.
It's the way of Vikings. This is how we battle. It's the way of the old Vikings.
endings like that. It just reminds me, I don't know why, but it just reminds me of when I was younger in the 70s and stuff. There were a lot of endings like that were powerful, the concerts and stuff like that. It just puts you in a kind of a vibe of being there live, because I think that's how, when we hear bands, obviously live, there's no, I don't think I've ever heard a band fade out live. It's always a definitive ending, which is kind of like part of the master performance, and that's what this gave me. Remember I said it was kind of musical theater-esque for me here. When the guitar solo came in, it was kind of, to me, I could smile a little bit, because kind of reminded me of an old scale that I used to practice. I think all guitar players practice something of that, but it was very, you knew it was going to lead into something a lot more powerful, but what was great about it is that technique and that speed and that starting off the solo kind of laid back in the solo and stayed more melodic than it did shreddy. And I really like that. Something else I want to bring up again, just one last time, especially this last section, is that da 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 da. If you notice, I'm singing, in my mind, what I'm perceiving is the lead melody of the song, regardless of the lead singer who's performing the way he's performing. I thought it was really well done, very hooky and very catchy. That the guitar also, I believe, did they overdub and did a harmony? Well, I know he did that it sounded like on the solo, can't remember on this, but on this, last 25 seconds, which is their main hook, I believe The Way of the Vikings, lyrical part of it, is that melody still has seared itself in my mind, and the vocal performance more became a through power arrangement, and there's great storytelling. I could tell. I picked up some more lyrics through it, so I'm going to go listen to this a few more times. Anyhow, a little longer than I thought it would be, but I got to go through this band, and of course, you guys give me some more suggestions of other tracks I should listen to as I continue my journey with AMON AMARTH. If I'm saying it wrong or weird, I'm just learning. Remember, I surrender that. Old man pass, hall pass. I make mistakes, but you guys can straighten me out. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for your patience through my little changes here for what happened. And also, last but not least, I want to thank the folks on Patreon who suggested this. And you can check that out too for your support. The cup of coffee, the headsets, where all the links are. They're down below. If you're still here, type in, I'm still here. You guys have a killer weekend. Got a bunch of great new stuff coming up next week. Take care. Aloha.
All right.